Welcome to BOJ's Trending News. For top local, regional and international news, along with sports and local weather forecast, I'm Carla. Coming up in our local trending news, Minister of Local Government condemns attack on municipal employees to consult with Police Commissioner on protection measures. Local footballer is the latest victim to be murdered in the parish of Clarendon. Body of missing taxi operator found in water tank in Mandeville. And Minister Bartlett eyeing St. Mary for sustainable tourism development. Now the details. Minister of Local Government and Community Development, the Honourable Desmond McKenzie, has strongly condemned the recent attack on Mr. Jermaine Jones, a security guard employed at the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, who was shot in the neck at the transport centre after resisting the demands of a gunman to hand over cash he collected from transport operators using the facility. He is in critical condition in hospital. In another incident, an employee of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation was left with severe facial injuries after an altercation with a driver at the King Street bus park in Spanish Town. Minister McKenzie said, "I am appalled at the violence that our municipal officers have been experiencing as they perform their duties. I'm particularly concerned that these incidents are not isolated, but appear to be a part of a pattern of assault against the public order and revenue collection functions of the municipal corporation. I have therefore written to the Commissioner of Police so that we can meet to discuss specific measures to protect the municipal staff right around the country." A local footballer was shot and killed outside a bar in Mineral Heights in Clarendon yesterday. He has been identified as 31 years old O'Neill Rose, otherwise called Big Dog, who resides at Canaan Heights, also in the parish. Reports are that about 1:45 p.m. Rose was in the process of entering a bar when he was shot multiple times by three men armed with guns. The men escaped in a waiting motor car. Rose's death came hours following the murder of JDF Private Paul Lindsay, who was shot and killed at a party being held at his premises in Tollgate, Clarendon yesterday morning. Rose is a member of the Sporting Central Academy and the Montego United football teams. The body of a taxi operator who went missing from his home in Mandeville, Manchester on Thursday was discovered in a tank in a neighbouring community yesterday afternoon. He has been identified as 33 years old Siobhan Facey, otherwise called Sean, taxi operator of George Reed District in Manchester. Reports by the Mandeville Police are that Facey went missing on Thursday, and residents and family members have been searching for him since. About 9:30 p.m. yesterday, residents stumbled upon his body in a community water tank along the Carteret Drive in Mandeville. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for post-mortem examination. The parish of St. Mary has been earmarked by Tourism Minister the Honourable Edmund Bartlett as another potential area for sustainable tourism development under the re-imaging exercise. Rich in cultural history ranging from Jamaica's Tainos and Maroon heritage, St. Mary also offers several elements that can be used to develop the area into a mini destination. Speaking during a tour of the parish on the weekend, Minister Bartlett said, "As part of our commitment to re-image Destination Jamaica, we're committed to building out new experiences east of Rockabessa towards Port Antonio. The purpose of the tour has been to take a good hard look at Robbins Bay, Golden Eye beaches and rivers and all the public assets in St. Mary to determine the potential of the area to become a lifestyle tourism destination." The technical team from the ministry and various agencies, led by Permanent Secretary Mrs. Jennifer Griffith, took part in the tour as part of the initial assessment of the area. The Petroleum Amendment Act 2019, which seeks to transfer the rights and obligations of Petroleum Development Fund (PDF) to the Government of Jamaica, was passed in the Senate last Friday. Under the amendments, the PDF's functions and small amount of liabilities will be integrated into the Ministry of Finance and Public Service, and the fund as a separate entity will cease to exist. Legislation to allow for this new arrangement had become necessary, given that the fund, which was established as a public body in 2006, has now fulfilled its mandate. The PDF had the responsibility of managing the proceeds, which occurred to Jamaica under the Energy Corporation Agreement entered into between the governments of Jamaica and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. It was charged with lending to self-financing public bodies for human capital development, offering assistance to the Ministry of Finance for domestic debt refinancing, as well as lending to reduce Jamaica's dependence on fossil fuel. Those were your top stories making the local trending news. Now join us for news across the region as well as our international story, sports and local weather forecast. From across the region. The Antigua and Barbuda government says it has received a positive feedback to a proposal that would allow it to own at least 40% of the Scotiabank branch in Antigua, which is being sold as part of several branches in the Caribbean to a Trinidad and Tobago-based financial institution. Prime Minister Gaston Brown, speaking on his privately owned radio station, said that his administration had put two options on the table for the Trinidad-based Republic Financial Holdings Limited, RFHL, regarding the sale. Last November, the RFHL announced that it was seeking to acquire Scotiabank operations in several Caribbean countries. Antigua and Barbuda and Guyana had initially expressed reservations about the proposed acquisition with St. John's, indicating that it would not be issuing a vesting order to facilitate the move. The RFHL statement said that the banks being acquired are located in Guyana, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In international news, a slow-moving rainstorm today washed down roads, stranded drivers, and soaked basements, including the White Houses, during a chaotic morning commute in the National Capital Region. Water gushed into the press work space in the basement near the White House's West Wing. Government employees worked to drain puddles of standing water with wet vacuums. National Weather Center meteorologist Cody Ledbetter said the storm dumped about 6.3 inches of rain near Frederick, Maryland, about 4.5 inches near Arlington, Virginia, and about 3.4 inches at the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport in a 2-hour period. Water levels at Cameron Run in Alexandria, Virginia, a flood-prone area along the Capitol Beltway, rose more than 7 feet over 30 minutes after 9 a.m., according to the Weather Service. 4 Mile Run, which runs through Arlington and Alexandria, saw a similar increase. Pete Pinniger, a spokesman for the fire department in Montgomery County, Maryland, said emergency workers used boats for dozens of rescues, plucking people from flooded cars. Over in our sporting report, the United States retained the Women's World Cup yesterday as a Megan Rapinoe penalty and a Ro Lively strike gave the holders a 2-0 victory over the Netherlands in the final in Lyon, prompting new questions over a potential visit to Donald Trump's White House. Rapinoe stroked home from 12 yards to put the USA ahead just after the hour mark and end the tournament as joint top scorer on 6 goals after making headlines for stating she would boycott any team visit to the presidential mansion after the tournament. Coach Jill Ellis remained coy on whether the team would carry out the visit if invited, saying that she wouldn't bet on an invite coming. However, the U.S. president put their spat to one side to congratulate the team, tweeting, "Congratulations to the U.S. women's soccer team on winning the World Cup. Great and exciting play. America is proud of you all." The body of a taxi operator who went missing from his home in Manor, Manchester on Thursday was discovered in a tank in a neighbouring community yesterday afternoon. He has been identified as 33 years old Siobhan Facey, otherwise called Sean, taxi operator of George Reed District in Manchester. Reports by the Manor Police are that Facey went missing on Thursday, and residents and family members have been searching for him since. About 9:30 p.m. yesterday, residents stumbled upon his body in a community water tank along the Carteret Drive in Mandeville. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for post-mortem examination. On our local weather forecast for this afternoon, insignificant feature, a trough across Jamaica. The trough will linger across the island, then move into the Western Caribbean by tomorrow afternoon. The forecast for tonight will see partly cloudy skies becoming fair. Tomorrow morning, partly cloudy over eastern parishes. Elsewhere, mainly sunny. During tomorrow afternoon, please do expect partly cloudy skies and windy conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms across central and western parishes. Also inland areas. Otherwise, windy along southern coastal areas. Minimum temperature expected for Kingston as well as Montego Bay tonight is 25 degrees Celsius. That was BOJ's trending news, your top local, regional and international stories, as well as sports report and weather forecast. Until next time, I'm Carla. Thanks for watching. Radio